Over again on this money pit bowl. As you can see, I did jump ahead a little bit, so I didn't show all the steps. What happened was the wood blank that I put in there for the plug floated. So it took a little bit of doing, but I finally got it chopped off. I was able to mount it back up onto the lathe. One of the problems I have so far is I got those pennies and nickels in, if you remember correctly. And the pennies are turning just fine, but boy, when I hit a nickel, I find out very quickly. It makes a nice chunk, and sometimes I get a blowout. It comes flying out. So fortunately, I was wearing my mask when I had that happen. So now we're going to continue. I'm going to start doing some more turning. You'll be able to see my face because I want you to see up close exactly what's going on. What I've done here is I put a tenon in here because I'm going to flip this around, put it back on the other side. It'll be mounted up onto this chuck over on this side. Let me turn it just a little bit sideways. There we go. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. But eventually this tenon that I've cut right here will get mounted over here on this chuck. Now I've got it mounted right now using a screw connector going into the wood plug that was put in there. That's holding it quite well. So here we go. Let's see what happens this morning. I had to sharpen my tools too. Most of them were dull from the last time. Let me get it turned just a bit for you. There we go. Since none of the pennies and nickels made it into the center, it's not so bad. Measuring out, I know approximately what size it is because the chuck's on the other side, so I can't take it off right now to measure it. But it's closely, I use my little calipers, and see, there we go. Get the calipers on there, and I got a little bit more I want to take off to make sure it's actually going to fit. It looks to me like it might, but I don't want to take a chance because I can't chuck it back up again and get it back in the same spot. That just does not happen on turning. Well, I think that's going to be close enough. Now, see some more pennies coming through the bottom. I'm just going to try to flatten that bottom up just a bit more. Boy, my tools are going to get dull this time. Well, guess I have to go for the gold here and see what happens. I think I'll leave the tenon in there for now and just take it out. See, there's the big screw that was put into it to hold it in there. Yeah, it held it really nicely too. Now to try to see if it's going to fit on the chuck. And we have a good fit. One thing about the acrylic bowls on the bottom, you can really crank that down and hold it tight. Okay, now what I need to do is start it back up. I want to make sure I'm still in the center and get this lodged in there good and tight. This is what I do, is I call it truing up the sides, because once you turn it around, you're never going to be 100% back in the middle again. So what I want to do now is I want to try to make sure it's still round. What you want to do when you're turning, when I teach this bowl class, let me turn this just a little bit this way. There, now you can see a little bit better. What you want to do is watch this horizon right here while you're turning it. You can't watch where your tool's at. Problem is you don't see the ups and downs. Here you get the profile of what's actually going on. So I always keep my eyes up here on the horizon, as I call it. That gives me the shape that I'm looking for. I can try to create something different. Yeah, looking good. I don't see any reason to do anything more on that. And I'm going to try different tools. I use, well, I've got my carbide tools. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. Yeah, there we go. Got my carbide tools. I also got my regular high-speed steel. First, I'm going to try the high-speed steel to get some of this wood out of here first and see what happens. Well, that was not supposed to happen. No big deal. It didn't hurt the bowl a bit. It's hard to hurt the bowl. It just means I got to try to tighten it up just a little bit more. And I think I'm going to put the tailstock back on for the time being until I can get some of that off there. Round tool. See if it won't stay on this time. Okay, well, jump forward about an hour and a half to get to this far. I'm quite pleased with the bowl. It came out just about what I expected. A few spots inside are a little rough where the money didn't get soaked up enough when I stirred it all up, so it left a couple little voids. But it, all in all, it actually worked out. So let's see if I can get a little better shot here. There we go. I'll turn it around. Next step is I'll take and turn it around the other way and clean up the bottom and make it nice and flat and polish it out, and I'll have myself my money bowl. And just in case you're wondering what happens with all that stuff, as you can see in the background on my table, that's part of it. Let's see if I can't get down here and show you the rest of it. Yep, there it is. A great big pile full of that acrylic. There we go. I polish it out with Meguiar's polish, and I think it really gives a good finish to it. Takes a lot of the scratches out. Hopefully the color will come out a little bit better than what it shows here, but it is a nice bright green. It looks like a bunch of dollar bills. So that concludes my bowl. I'm quite happy with it.